What's up everyone, I am Jamie with threelittlegoats.com. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you've been around for a while, welcome back. I'm glad to see you as always. So today we are actually going to be heading into the kitchen because we are going to be canning some beautiful and delicious elderberry syrup. I planted elderberries when we first moved to this property and they have just kind of exploded. And so we're going to use some dried elderberries today to make this syrup. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get started. Alright y'all, so of course you're going to need some elderberries. I am using dried elderberries today and I am doubling my normal recipe. If you are using fresh or frozen elderberries, you'll want to double the amount of elderberries you use. And of course I will have a link down in the description with the full recipe and tips and tricks as well, like normal. And for mine, I like to add in some ginger and cinnamon stick, as well as some fresh squeezed lemon. And of course we're making a syrup, so you're going to need sugar and lots of it. Now if you're not canning this syrup and you're just going to make a small batch to keep in the fridge, you can totally substitute sugar with honey. But since I am canning this recipe, I'm going to use sugar because once honey goes through the canning process, it really doesn't have all those great benefits that raw honey has. So I'm going to save a little bit of money and use just regular sugar today. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is fill our pot up with some water. I'm using 16 cups of water, and I'm going to add in my elderberries. Then I'm also going to throw in my cinnamon stick and my 2 chunks of ginger. And I'm just going to take this over to the stove and put it on medium heat. And I'm just going to let it simmer for probably a good 30 minutes or so. Alright, so we've been simmering for about 35-40 minutes. And you can see we've just got this gorgeous purple syrup that is ready to go. We are going to just remove it from the heat now, and I'm going to drain this through a sieve as well as some cheesecloth to get the ginger, the cinnamon stick, as well as all of the dried berries out of there so we can make some beautiful syrup. Okay.
This moment, can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment, can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment, can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment.
Alright, so now I'm going to just clean out the pot that I was making everything in so I can transfer the juice back over to it without having all the seeds that are left down here. So let me clean up a minute and we'll be right back. Alright, so now we're going to put the juice back in the pot, and then we're going to add our lemon juice and our sugar, and we're going to heat that over medium heat until all of the sugar is nice and dissolved. Hopefully I don't burn myself and make a big old mess. Added in our lemon juice. We're going to add in our sugar. And we're going to take this over to the stove and heat back up. Alright, so now that our syrup is ready, we are ready to can it. So I just pulled my jars out of the oven where I keep them at about 250 degrees is where I keep my oven, just to keep them warm and sanitized while I'm doing all the other stuff. So we're going to just try to make as little of a mess as possible and get these put in our canning jars. I am using about 1/8 headspace. Next one. So let's go ahead and just time lapse this.
Maybe you don't wanna know, but you don't see what you have in front of you. Or maybe I'm not enough for you. So maybe I should go. If I had
My water bath canner can fit 7 half pints in it, so that is what I'm going to do right now. Let's put these first 7 in. First, I'm just going to wipe the rim of all of the jars just to make sure there's nothing in there that's going to prevent a nice good seal.
If we don't feel the same way, then don't pretend that everything's okay. Don't string me along the way you do. Just let me get over you.
Alright, so I'm going to throw these in the water bath canner, and while these are processing, I'm going to put this back on the stove to keep warm, and I'm going to put my jars back in the oven to keep them nice and warm and sanitized as well.
I don't wanna waste my time, no. I don't wanna waste my time, no.
Once this comes to a rolling boil, I'm going to start the timer, and we are going to can these for 10 minutes for half pints and pint jars. And they are done. Now I'm just going to let them hang out on the counter for 24 hours before I label them and put them away. I'm also going to take the rings off of them once they are ready to go as well.
Never live with broken hearts, 'cause I don't wanna waste my time, no. I don't wanna waste my time, no.
So with that double batch, I got a total of 12 half pint jars, and they have all sealed, which is great. So like I said, I'm going to let them just hang out on the counter overnight. The ones that I'm keeping, I'm going to remove the bands from, and then the ones I'm going to be taking to the farmer's market, I'm going to leave the bands on and go ahead and label them. So I will see you guys tomorrow for labeling, or for you guys it'll just be this transition.
I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on.
So that is what I have got for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? We put out new videos every single week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.